You're an entrepreneur, and you make vital decisions that hopefully blossom into a business. You're the savvy, out-of-the-box risk taker who believes wholeheartedly in the process of innovation. Innovation that will change the world. This is CEO Chat with Gresham Harkless, and you're about to embark on a journey through the awesome world of business. Gresham is the epitome of drive and desire as he works to help support small businesses and entrepreneurship. And you're about to learn from this entrepreneur how you can improve your odds of success in the business world. Welcoming the host of CEO Chat, here's Gresham Harkless.
Hello. This is Gresh from the I Am CEO podcast, and I have a very special guest on the show today. I have Dr. Holder. Dr. Holder, excited to have you on the show.
Yes, I'm excited as well. Can't wait to speak about the things that you need me to speak about.
Yeah, absolutely. The things that I want to speak about are all the awesome things that you're doing, and I'm super excited that we actually get to do this live here at Intelligent Office in Alexandria. So I guess before we talk about all the awesome things that you do, I wanted to hear a little bit more on what got you here. Could you take us through what I call your CEO story?
Okay, well, I knew that I wanted to be a CEO, owner of my own business for since I was younger, because my parents, they're both were entrepreneurs.
Nice.
And so I grew up in a family of, I knew what to be employed was, as well as I knew what entrepreneurship looked like.
Okay.
So for me, it wasn't a question of doing the entrepreneurship part. It's just what I was going to do and how that was going to happen. Years later, kind of speeding through the story, but years later, I ended up working with an awesome supervisor who had her own business and her own model, and I kind of learned a lot from her when I first started out. And so she taught me a lot of things, but the biggest thing for me with her, she kept me with a lot of clients.
Yeah.
So I saw everybody from children to elderly couples, family. She just threw me into everything. And so I got so much great experience working in that field and but also seeing how she did her business as well. Right. And so I'm like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to do all of this, but it's just a win now, because now I have an idea and I'm getting my confidence in doing so. The next bit I did, I was a director for a couple of programs. And I think that's where I got a lot of my confidence to just, hey, I can really do this thing.
Right.
And so I was in New York, because I was in New York originally. And then I came here a couple of years ago to this area, the DMV area, and I started my business in 2018. Okay. Well, 2016 in New York, but then I transferred it to 2018 in DMV area, right? Yeah. And so I've been in the counseling field for over about 20 years now. And so again, I worked as a counselor for different programs and different agencies. It was just, when was I gonna do my thing? And so really, I started part-time in 2016 in New York. And then when I moved here, it was just immediate to do it in 2018. Right. And then from there, I just never stopped. Now I'm adding employees and all those things because I'm growing. Yeah. And so I'm just really excited of where this is going. So I'm learning different programs. I'm learning how to I'm trying to put myself in different positions. That's why I'm here, and just learning about how it is to continue to be and flow in the CEO position that I have acquired for myself.
Nice. I absolutely love that. I love that you had the entrepreneurship in your blood, and have just kind of done what a lot of people don't always do, which is, I think, really get great at your craft and the things that you do.
Yes.
So I love that you knew this is where I'm going to end up, but you did the things that sometimes, and I'm talking more about myself than anything else, kind of jump past that and try to kind of get their hands dirty. But I think being able to be an expert at the craft that you have and taking those steps and knowing that now you have that opportunity, you have all this experience, and everything kind of comes to fruition in a great way.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I concur.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to drill down a little bit more, hear a little bit more on how you're serving your clients. Could you take us through what that looks like?
Yeah. It's a party of, it's the three of us. It's myself, and I have two other clinicians on staff. Thank you. It's virtual for right now because we were physical location and then COVID happened, and so I never went back to the physical location. We may do that in the future, but right now virtual just works better. Right. And so you can see our website, higherlifepathways.com, and you see our staff intro and all the things there. And we see individuals, couples, and families,
Mm-hmm.
and really, you're going through a life transition, you're going through stressors, you're going through anxiety, depression, any family issues, brother, sister, mother, daughter, couples, families, divorce. I mean, we're here to support you guys because the biggest thing for us, or really for me, is once we're able to lock into, the issues you have, if we're able to help you get to a high level of thinking, then maybe you can help someone else. Hey, you never know. And so the biggest thing is community and growing in that, so that we're all learning that it's important, getting therapy and learning. So we're trying to I'm just trying to be the service. I'm just trying to provide counseling services to individuals that really do need it, and their families and so forth.
Yeah, I love that because I think that so many times when we think of filling up our cup, healing ourselves, how powerful that is for self or the individual, but also how that impacts so many other people. You talked about that community piece, and I think that's something that we don't have a lot of awareness over. Like if we're going through something or we're struggling with something, like you can sometimes kind of, I guess, silo ourselves and just say, "Hey, I'm dealing with this." But I think for better or sometimes not so good, we don't see the impacts that can have.
Right. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, so it's so powerful, the things that you do. Do you feel like that's part of what I would call your secret sauce? It could be for yourself, the organization, or a combination of both. Is it that ability to kind of understand and see all of that and see the impact that obviously the work that you're doing with the person that might be across from you or virtually across from you, but also how that impacts so many other people?
Yeah, quick story.
Yeah.
So I wasn't always a counselor. I started out as a career vocational.
Okay.
Yeah, I started out way early in my career. When I first started, I started out a vocational career, and then I noticed, I'm like, wait a minute, there's more to it than this. There's a reason why they're not getting their careers or their resumes together. What else? And then the next level was substance abuse counselor, right? And I went to the next, because I'm like, because for me, I realized that this whole counseling thing, it was about the person, and I really do enjoy people. Like, to be a counselor, you have to love, not like love people. You gotta do that. And so I'm like, okay, and being an investigator of that. So. Yeah. Substance abuse counselor, and I'm like, okay, this is good. Okay, now I understand why it is that they're not getting to their levels. Okay, substances. Okay, boom. But wait a minute, what's the reason why they're using substances? What's going on there? Yeah. And then I went higher, and now I'm a professional counselor. I can see anything, anyone, whatever. Yeah. And so what I did was I continued investigating the person and their different areas and different factors to realize that it's not just one caveat. Like the community, even within yourself, you are a community. You have your spiritual, your social, your emotional, psychological, all the things, right?
All the shows.
Right. And so I realized growing in those levels to get into that real client, it helped me to get to that everything. So when you get to the everything of the client, it's not just when the client comes in for one thing.
Yeah.
It's not just always one thing, because it's like, why is this one thing? And let's go deeper and deeper and deeper. Yeah. And it goes into more things. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I love it because I could definitely, you're not passionate at all about this at all. It's very boring to you. I love your energy.
I'm
but,
very
I don't know why. I was just thinking of like the kid that asked, why. And I love that, because there you go, because you really get down to what the core of things are, because you're saying, okay, you're not getting the job you want, but why? And then you're asking, but why? And you end up getting to, I think, the true source of what you end up doing, which is actually helping to help serve that person on the sometimes the not apparent ways that are blocking them from getting the job, because they haven't dealt with whatever thing that might be, not, I guess, apparent to them. So I love that you have went through that journey, obviously through your work, but I love how that fuels everything that it sounds like you're doing now.
Absolutely. Because again, they come in for one thing. I just know, there's all these 5 other things. And the thing is,
they don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah,
exactly. I remember one time, I never forgot this, and again, I just saw it. Yeah. This client came into my office, first session, and the client, filled out the paperwork, and so I'm going through it. I'm like, oh, that's the reason you're doing this and doing that and that. And again, I'm just literally going through it in just the first sheet, and I'm like, oh, that's why your dad or your mom, or that's why I'm just going through. That's why I'm just going through it, and I'm not looking at her. I'm just going through it, just to confirm certain things. But then I'm thinking out loud, oh, that's what. So she's looking at me in tears, and she's like, no one has ever read me like that. No one has ever seen me like that. No one has ever validated those feelings and emotions. And in my head, I'm just thinking, I'm just going through what you just stated, and I'm just telling you what it is.
Right.
And she told me, I never forgot this. She went at a park or somewhere, and she had to look out and didn't know if I what did she tell me? I did magic work or something. And I'm like, no. I just really read what she wrote, and I saw what happened and how it could have messed with you, where you now think this negative thinking. And I'm just trying to show you, hey, you don't have to do that. And here are the strategies and skills to help you overcome. Yes.
Yeah, I love that, and I love that because again, we sometimes don't give ourselves credit for the experience of work and the things that we put in, which is why I loved hearing that about your journey and how you had become an expert at your craft. So when you sit down with somebody virtually and you're looking at the paperwork, it's not just you there at that time. It's you with all that experience to be able to see the forest for the trees, to be able to make those connections where others sometimes don't and can't, or do it to your ability because they haven't had that experience and that awareness and be able to connect the dots that way.
Got it. Yes, sir.
Yes, I absolutely love that. So I wanted to switch gears a little bit, and I want to ask you for what I call a CEO hack. So this could be more of an app, a book, or even a habit that you have, but what's something that makes you more effective and efficient?
Prayer.
Changes.
I pray. I try to pray every day, and it just keeps me focused. It keeps me centered on just being able to get your thoughts together, and just pray to God, and just pray, just really get your sense of just genuineness and your thankfulness on. Your gratitude on.
Exactly.
Just being grateful every day for life. Especially my parents had passed a couple of years ago.
I'm sorry.
And I tell people my dad was like Mufasa. And just from that, their legacy, and just thinking about my siblings and just all the things, I'm just very thankful. So the hack is really being grateful and thankful every day, and prayer. Definitely prayer.
I love that. And I think when you're able to kind of, sometimes we can lose focus and look at things that we don't have in this lack, and I want this or I want that. But I love the practicality of praying and how talking with God and having that conversation, and especially coming into that conversation with gratitude of things that sometimes we take for granted. Is so huge, and how that can make an impact on and kind of push you forward in a really great day.
It does. It really does. It just changes your mindset. Like if you're like this, you force yourself to literally calm down when you're praying, when you're being thankful, when you're just like, let me smell the trees, right? And smell the flowers.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great kind of reminder to just be present overall.
That's it. There you go.
There you go. So what would you consider to be what I call a CEO nugget? A little bit more word of wisdom or piece of advice. I like to say you might tell your younger business self this if you were to hop into a time machine.
Oh, my favorite quote of all time. What is her name? Oh my goodness, Maya Angelou. Yeah, believe what people show you about themselves. Believe it. Don't ignore the gut feeling. Don't believe it. You know how many people I have to talk to about this? My teenagers, my kids, my my couples, my families. Listen. This is what the family member is showing you. Don't ignore it. No, believe what they're showing you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you feel like we or even people have a tendency to maybe want to believe what they want to believe rather than what is kind of in front of their face?
All the time, because it makes it simple it makes it easier for them to be more agreeable. It makes it easier for them to make a decision that they probably shouldn't have, or it just makes it easier for them, but it's still unhealthy because you're not believing what you're seeing, the truth in front of you.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's so powerful, just because, again, it's so small, but it's so huge, because I think so many times some of the not great decisions we can make is because we're hoping something that we don't really see. And if we look at what's in alignment with what has actually happened, then we wouldn't sometimes make those decisions.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Quick story.
Go
Quick
for it.
story. All right. I had a because I again I do boyfriend girlfriend as well partners.
Mhm.
So not marriage. I do regular partnerships.
Right.
And guy girl comes in. They're talking. They're not sure. Girl isn't sure. This is when in person years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah. Girl wasn't sure about the relationship. The guy's saying this and that, but she's not sure. So they came in just to get some assessment work.
Right.
And so we're talking, and immediately I'm like, this guy is not interested in getting married, because that was her goal. She wants to get married, want to have kids, all of that. And I'm listening to this guy speak, and he is not. And she's hoping.
Yeah.
She is hoping because she's been with him for a couple of years, and they've had a life, all of. And I, as a therapist, you don't tell them what to do.
Right.
You make suggestions, you recommend, but they have to come to their own conclusions and decisions. And so you give them the framework, the resources, the all of the things, support, right? To let them come to that conclusions themselves.
Right.
And towards the ending, she realized on her own, well, through me speaking up, well, this is what he's saying here. Are you hearing what he's saying?
Right.
Because he's not even saying it directly to her, right? So I had to do the bridge in communicating that.
Yeah.
And when she realized the truth, like you could just see the downfall, and she's like, I guess I have to make my decision. And that was the last session, which I knew it was coming. Right. And I'm like, okay. And that's that. Like, I can't tell you what to do.
Right.
I only give you the information that's presented.
Yeah.
But that was sad. But I was happy for her because at least she knew the truth, because forcing someone to be married specifically, that is horrible.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that she came to her decision and not continued with the individual.
Yeah, you said it was sad. I mean, I think it, of course, it's not
in the moment of that's what I meant.
Yeah, I completely understand. But I think at the same time, it's up. The idea one door closes, another one opens. So by allowing you to have that space that's away, then that allows the next opportunity to kind of come in. And I think by holding on to those things and those things that sometimes we want to see but aren't actually there, that's only hurting both parties. And probably more of that community that we talked about too.
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely. So now I want to ask you my absolute favorite question, which is the definition of what it means to be a CEO. We're hoping to have different quote unquote CEOs on the show. So Dr. Holder, what does being CEO mean to you?
Well, initially doing everything.
Okay.
You have to get your promotion up. You have to get your leadership. You're going on leadership courses. You're just pretty much okay. Let me just start off. Okay, so I wasn't always a CEO, right? Like I said before, I had to kind of like get my craft going. So I have to be comfortable being a counselor and being very confident in that, right? Being a counselor and being a CEO of a therapy practice is very, very different.
Right.
They don't teach you that. Actually, I have a course. I don't know if you saw in my bio. I have a course out that I have where I show you how to get to the therapy practice part, because I've been getting a lot of inquiries about that. So I made a course about it. Hey, check it out. Hey, this is 1, 2, 3, and how to ABCs of counseling, getting counseling business started. So basically, I am involved in all parts of the business. I am hiring, I am letting people go, I am contributing, I am, just making sure that my staff is okay. I'm meeting with staff on a regular basis. I'm doing the marketing on the back end. I'm making sure the website is getting promoted. I'm just doing all the things right now. I have hired also a assistant to help me with different things, phone calls, all those things, So I am, as I get bigger, I'm going to be adding more staff to the practice. So being a CEO really is making sure that your baby, which is your practice, is taken care of, but really you're taken care of. Are you getting your are you updating yourself with the different skills and strategies over time? Are you updating yourself as a business owner? Because it's different hats, obviously. Right. So pretty much doing everything initially, and then my goal is to begin delegating, and I've already started doing the process of doing that.
Right. I love that. And you said a baby, and I was thinking the phrase, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a business as well too. And there's so many things involved, but I think you want to have awareness over all those things that are happening, so that when you do bring that person on, you do delegate to that person. First of all, you're able to create those processes, systems, things, have that culture so that it's done in a way so that that excellence continues.
Yes.
But at the same time, you do have to realize that we can't do all of the things all the time. It's just a matter of when you make that decision to kind of delegate those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Absolutely appreciate that, Dr. Holder. Appreciate your time even more. So what I want to do now is pass you the mic, so to speak,
Okay.
just to see if there's anything additional you can let our readers and listeners know, and of course, how best people can get a hold of you, find out about the course, and all the awesome things that you're working on.
Okay, well, I am my tag on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, right? Yeah, I'm used to all these social media things. It's Dr. Holder _ HLP. And on my Facebook, it's facebook.com/Higher Life Pathways. On my Instagram, if you look if you click the link in my Instagram page, all my book, I have a book out as well to help couples. I have my book out, I have my course there, and I have a podcast as well. It's called What's Your Heart Problem Podcast, and I try to do it once a month. With everything that's going on, I try to do it once a month, every Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month. And so I try to do that, and I have other things going on there, but really my Instagram link to my page is where you're going to see all my all the things that I'm doing that I've done. So I think that is it. And my website, like I stated before, is higherlifepathways.com, where you can request an appointment or schedule with me or my clinicians. And yeah, I think that's it with the communications to me. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ma'am. I truly appreciate you. To make it even easier, we'll have the links and information in the show notes as well, too, including that course as well, too, that Dr. Holder mentioned. That should be loads and loads of goodness involved. So thank you so much again for taking time out, coming with me live. I hope you have a phenomenal rest of the day.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.